This is a sample video of Dock Designer, a program created for a client of AddCAD who designs, manufactures, and installs marinas. This program is used in the design phase and enables the user to place dock modules, fingers, anchors, and piles that conform to company standards and specifications. The relevant data is extracted to a spreadsheet in the form of a bill of materials encompassing modules, connections, anchors, and piles. To get started, I'll draw some dock modules. This is the interface that allows me to see the configuration of the modules as they're placed. So at the first end I want to be free, the second end I want to be free, and a full module at the first end. 20 feet wide by 40 feet long place modules. Pick a point, and I want 11 modules, so that'll be 440 feet. And there we have 11 modules. Now I want to place some smaller modules along this left-hand end. So I'll activate that same command, and this time I want to latch onto the end of the existing. Second end can still be free. Full module at the first end is fine. And we'll do 10 feet wide modules by 30 feet long. Place modules. Now I need to latch onto the center line of this module, and I'm going to place 5 modules at 30 feet. That's 150 plus 10 for half of this, so 160 feet. Okay, so now we have 30 by 10 modules, and I'm going to place the same at the other end. I can use the same settings that I had before, so I'll place modules by settings. Pick the point, go 160 feet, and then we have those modules. Now I'll place some connected to the middle area. This time I want to change the settings, so I want to connect this time on the first end, anywhere along this module. And we'll still stick with 10 feet by 30 feet, place modules. And I'll go the middle point here. I'll just pick a point out here, and the last module won't be 30 feet, but that's fine, it's 29 foot 2. So, okay, I'll place another series of modules connected to the midpoint of this one. So I can use the same settings. And I'll pick the midpoint, and I'll pick the end point of this to match it up. Okay, so now we have a series of modules that we can add fingers to. And now I'm going to place some fingers down the left-hand edge of this column of modules. Okay, I'll enter the finger width at 2 foot 10, that's fine. 28 feet long, maybe 24 foot spacing, and I'll leave the finger quantity at 10 for now. But I'll pick the first endpoint and the second endpoint, and I'll pick the finger direction while I'm there. Now I have all the data I need to place the fingers, except that the actual spacing is way smaller than the target spacing, so I'll need to change that by reducing the finger quantity. I'll try 7, I'll try 6, getting closer, and 5. 5's plenty, but I've also realized that I want these end fingers to be on the end of the module, so I don't need this spacing here. So I'll remove the left end space, and I'll remove the right end space, and now all our numbers have changed. So I need to increase the number of fingers, and we're still getting closer. 25 feet is probably ideal as a target spacing at 24 feet. So I will place the fingers. And then we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fingers on that left-hand edge. Just to verify everything's okay, I'll put some dimensions down these fingers. I zoom in a little. 2 foot 10, which is the finger width, that's fine, and 25 foot spacing all the way down. Well, they fit in pretty well. And now I'll put some fingers down the left side of this column of modules. So same interface, and finger width will keep the same. Go a little bit shorter on the finger length, and perhaps leave the target spacing at 22 feet, and we'll stick with 10 for now. So I'll pick the first endpoint and the second endpoint and the finger direction. Okay, so now we have our data again. That's actual spacing is 16 foot 5 with 10, so we'll try 9, 18 foot 4, 20 foot 8, 7, but we've got this end spacing again, and this time I want an end finger at the end of this module, but I don't want one here, I want the space here. So this is the right end as we pick the points, so I'll leave that space, and I'm going to exclude the left end space. Okay, so now our spacing is at 27 feet because we've got an extra bay, so to speak. So we can go up to 8 fingers at 23 foot 3. That's probably pretty good because 9's going to be less, yeah. So 23 foot 3, and I'll place the fingers. And there we go. Check them with dimension again. Don't really need to do this, it's just a handy feature. 2 foot 10 and 23 foot 4. So that would be our spacings for those fingers. Now I'm going to place some modules and attach them to the bottom row of modules. Okay, I want to connect, and I want them to be 20 feet by 40 feet, just to match the existing. And I'll pick here, and maybe a bit further down. There we go. So I now have an area I want to place some fingers, which is this area right here. And I'll draw fingers. I'll make them a bit larger than normal. Maybe 40 feet long, the extra finger width, and spacing maybe 26 feet. I'll leave the quantity at 10 for now. And in this area on the left, I want a space, but at this end I don't want a space. So I'll get rid of this spacing at the end. There we go. Now I'll pick the end point, and I'll pick the second end point and the finger direction. Okay, now I've got the data to work with, and I can see that the actual spacing is a little bit more than we want at 26 feet for 10 units. So I'll try 11. 29 foot 1, 12, 26 foot 4. Now that's pretty much perfect. So I'll place the fingers. And then we have slightly larger fingers on this inner end of the marina. And now I'll place some similar fingers down the left hand edge of this column of modules. So 4 foot 6 wide, 40 feet, 26 foot spacing. I'll leave that at 10 for now. And this time the the left hand edge of it is going to require space, but not the right hand edge. So we'll take that out, and we'll pick the points. Zoom in a bit, make it easier. Pick the second point, and the finger direction. Okay, I'm not quite ready to place yet because the spacing is off, so actual spacing is 13 foot 5, so I'll need to reduce the number of fingers. 8, 7, 6. 6 is looking pretty good at 25 foot 5 versus 26 feet. So I'll place the fingers. And there we go. So now I'll continue placing fingers around these remaining modules, and we'll look at bill of materials. So before I extract the bill of materials, what I'm going to do is place some piles and anchors. So I'll place some piles first, and I'll select a module by its center line, and then select the piles locations that I'd like. These are optimized, so they're in the ideal locations. So we have a couple of piles at the end of there, and why don't I add some anchors to maybe this one, and the locations are shown, so I'll just add those two. And Let's add some more anchors a bit further along. And I'll add another 2. And then I'll add some more piles, perhaps down on this module. And maybe on one of these early ones. These are most likely not the kind of locations that a designer would place them, but it's just for showing what comes up in the bill of materials for now. I'll place a couple more anchors, maybe this one and this one. Okay, that should do for now. And now I'll extract a bill of materials to Excel. Okay, and this is there are 5 sheets. There's a module sheet, and all the modules are identified down the left here as a D for a dock type module or an F for a finger type module, and they're all listed in there. And I've just put a cost in at $10, which obviously isn't the cost, but it's just for demonstration purposes. And module length, module width, module square feet, cost per square feet, and module cost. So they're all calculated out, and you can just add totals at the bottom or whatever. And then for the connections, these are identified just by number right now, and they have a connection length and width, the connection area, and again a demo cost of per linear foot. And all the connections are listed in here. And then piles, you saw me just add the piles, and just identified by pile number 1 through 8 there, which modules they're located on, and a demo cost. And then anchors, the same thing, anchor IDs, module IDs, so the modules they're located on, and a fake cost right now, and then there's a sheet 1. Okay, so that basically is how to extract a bill of materials. You can do a very quick list by feeding it out to Notepad, and there's the same information, but just if you wanted to print it out or something. Please view our other videos and screenshots for more information. Contact us if you have a need for our AutoCAD programming services.